All right, picking up our conversation with Redskins defensive coordinator Joe Barry. And Joe, you went through the line, you went through the outside linebackers. You have a couple returning inside backers, Keenan Robinson, Perry Riley. You got some youngsters, I know, who you're excited about. Could you kind of tell us about that inside backer position?
Well, like you said, I think, Keenan coming off the year that he had, Perry's been, I can remember being in San Diego the last 4 years just looking and saying, who in the heck is that 56 for the Redskins? Been really impressed with his game his whole career. But then you got, I think it's a luxury in this league to have great backups. It really is. And I really consider those guys starters in waiting, because you're one play away from a guy getting hurt and your backup having to step in.
That's
true. Adam Hayward and Will Compton, they are backups, but I really look at them as starters because they've had to play, and when they have played, the level of play has not fallen off that much. So to have 4 inside linebackers like we do is really nice.
And of course, you being a former linebacker coach, and you've got KO in here, Kirk Olivadotti. Yeah. How much are you going to help the linebackers? Have you kind of found your way and that level on how directly you'll be involved with them?
Yeah, I think it's important for a coordinator to be involved, and I absolutely am. I try to, at least this time of year with the coach, I try to sit in all the individual meetings, but with KO really handling the entire linebacker core, especially when we're in base, because we have 2 outside linebackers, 2 inside linebackers, and they're so different. As far as meetings, we'll do that even right now, where I'll take the outside guys and meet with them and do the daily installation.
Sure.
KO will take the inside guys, or we'll flip-flop and do vice versa. But, I'm a firm believer that I think a coordinator has to be hands-on, and I'm going to be very hands-on with that position.
Before we talk DBs, how long before the entire defense is installed? Could you give the fans kind of a general sense of how you guys do that?
We have 9 weeks. We have 2 weeks of phase 1, where we can just meet. And we had 6 installations with the defensive players. So we got probably, I'd say, 80% of our installation in those first 2 weeks.
Right.
Then we move into a 3-week period of phase 2, which allows us to meet with the players, but then also go out on the field with them and do individual work and drills. And we cut our installation back. We basically dedicated Wednesdays. So we had last Wednesday, we had today, and then we have next Wednesday, 3 more installations. So once we get through next Wednesday, we'll be done with our installation.
Great.
So when we go to phase 3, which starts next Monday when we go to our OTAs, now we'll go back and we'll actually reinstall. We'll go install 1 again, install 2 again, install 3. So it will really be the second time that they hear everything.
Why do you, just to refresh it and make sure they've got it? Is that why the reinstallation?
Yeah, because the first time you're throwing everything at them, and as I said, they've been speaking English their whole life, and now all of a sudden they're hearing French. They're like, what is what they've been referred to as apples. Now we're calling it oranges. So it just that it takes that first time it hits their brain, it's brand new for them.
It is new for them, but for the returners, how much easier is it for a player that's been around for a few years versus a rookie?
Football's football, Larry. It really is. Everybody plays quarters coverage, cover 4.
Right.
Now maybe what you call cover 4, what you've called cover 4 your whole career, now all of a sudden I call it something different. It hits the brain a little bit different just from a terminology standpoint.
Right.
But at the end of the day, football's football. Defensive football is defensive football. Cover 4 is cover 4. 3 deep, 4 unders, 3 deep, 4 under.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
All right, your corners.
Yeah.
Seems like you got a real good mix of youth and experience. You've got Breland and Emerson, and you've got D. Hall and Culliver, the newcomer.
Yeah.
How comfortable are you with those corners right now?
Well, very much, and again, I kind of mentioned with the outside linebackers before with a Preston Smith and Trent Murphy, having older veteran guys to look up to. I've been so impressed with D'Angelo Hall. I mean, he's just we obviously know how great a player he's been in his career, but I've been really, really impressed with how professional he is and how he works and how, again, he shows up here on a daily basis, and he's every day in the meeting he's got his notebook out and his pen out. He's taking notes. He's asking questions. A little bit limited right now because of his injury with what he's able to do out on the field.
How's he doing with that?
Well,
coming along,
I'm not a doctor, but I think he's. I know as a coach, I'm very happy with where he's at right now. And he's been, so for a guy like Breland and a guy like Amerson, who are a young guy, even Chris Culliver's not an old guy. He's a veteran, but to be around guys on a daily, to see a veteran act like that, to see a veteran, a guy that's been in the league 12, 13 years, and he's taking notes down like it's the first time he's heard what 3 deep, 4 under is.
Yeah.
To me, that's exciting. So it's great to have great veteran leadership, and we got it for those young guys.
D. Hall will either be a general manager or a United States senator when it's all said and done. I think one of those two is going to be in his future.
I call him Governor Hall.
Hey, why not be governor?
Yeah.
He could do it. He's comfortable down there in Richmond. Very quickly, 30 seconds left in the segment. Your safeties, that was a point of emphasis during the offseason. You brought on some veterans. You got a couple guys coming back. You think you're in good shape there? Yeah,
and again, Deshaun Golston falls in the same mold is what I've talked about. That guy is a freaking stud now. He is so impressive on a daily basis, just in everything that he's doing.
As a pro.
Just as a pro. Just as you sometimes have a mindset that guys just come in and kind of just show up. That's not the case with Deshaun Golston. The guy comes in, he works, he takes notes out on the field. He's working his butt off. It's very impressive to see.
And Jerron Johnson, let's be honest, hadn't had a chance to play. He wants to show what he can do.
I think JJ, I think Duke.
Yep.
I think we got two guys that are just eager and want an opportunity. And we're gonna throw the ball out there and let those two guys compete for the other position. And we got Trenton Robinson. We got a bunch of guys. We got Philip Thomas, who's been here.
Right.
So we got and again it goes back to it's competition. There's nothing better than competition. And at the end of the day, let's let the best man win. The best 11 guys go out and play.
Joe, the tenor here at Redskins Park has really been refreshing. Rob Akey makes you look calm and collected and quiet. Okay, now he is a ball of fire. You're a ball of fire in your own right, and I think that was something that was necessary here.
Yeah.
So I think I'm feeling pretty good myself about the Redskins defense. How do you feel being here?
I feel great. I really do. I felt great from day one, but what is it? 4 months into the job.
Right.
I think we had an outstanding free agency. I think the job that Scott McCloughan and his staff have done in the draft, just to sit back and really watch him work is awesome. To be able to see him, he really, really, really is A+ at what he does, and. So that was very impressive. So again, I think we had a phenomenal free agency. I think we had a phenomenal draft, and now this is the fun part for us as coaches because we love to meet, we love to watch film, but our passion is to get the guys out on the field, get the guys out on the grass, and get them better. Take an individual technique and work on it for 18 hours straight and perfect it. That's where we're at right now, moving on into phase 3.
Striving for perfection. That's great.